Have you ever walked into the produce section, stopped in front of those stacked cabbage heads, and felt your brain come to a halt as you stared at two options that seemed almost identical, but also completely different? One glowing with a deep royal purple that looks like it belongs in a medieval feast, and the other dressed in plain, humble green, the kind you've probably eaten your whole life. You might have wondered, isn't cabbage just cabbage? Why is one so bold while the other looks like the default setting? Is there some secret difference? And does it actually matter which one I buy? Today, we're slicing through the layers, literally, to uncover what separates purple cabbage from green cabbage. Yes, it's cabbage talk, but trust me, there's more drama inside these leafy spheres than you'd ever expect. By the end of this video, not only will you know the real difference, but you'll understand exactly which one you should be eating, depending on your health goals and your next recipe. Both purple and green cabbage trace their roots back to Brassica oleracea, one of the most influential plant families in human history. This single species gave the world broccoli, cauliflower, kale, collard greens, Brussels sprouts, and, of course, our two cabbages. They're like siblings who grew up in the same household but developed totally different personalities. What separates them isn't their lineage or some unusual mutation. It's pigment, nature's paintbrush working at a molecular level. Purple cabbage owes its bold color to anthocyanins, the same antioxidant compounds that give blueberries their deep blue glow and blackberries their inky richness. These pigments do more than create color. They're scientifically linked to anti-inflammatory benefits and cellular protection. Green cabbage, on the other hand, gets its color from chlorophyll, the same pigment that paints most of the plant world. So even though they're genetic twins, nature dressed them differently for very specific chemical reasons. Here's where purple cabbage becomes the star of a science fair. Those anthocyanins don't just sit there looking pretty, they react to pH levels around them. Add something acidic like lemon juice or vinegar, and the cabbage blushes into a brighter pinkish purple. Toss it into an alkaline environment like baking soda, and it shifts toward blue or even green. This is why purple cabbage is often used as a natural pH indicator, perfect for science experiments, dye projects, and even homemade litmus paper. Green cabbage doesn't pull off this party trick because chlorophyll stays relatively steady no matter what you throw at it. So yes, in the most unexpected plot twist, purple cabbage basically doubles as a chemistry teacher. Now, let's talk taste, because that's probably the first difference most people notice. Purple cabbage carries a firmer crunch and a deeper, slightly peppery bite. Its flavor is earthy, bold, and more assertive than its green counterpart. That sturdiness makes it perfect for raw dishes where you want structure and texture, slaws, salads, poke bowls, even crunchy taco toppings. Green cabbage, on the other hand, is gentle and mellow. It's sweeter, softer, and turns buttery when cooked. It melts beautifully into soups, stews, stir-fries, dumpling fillings, and sautéed dishes. It becomes tender without turning mushy, offering a comforting texture that absorbs whatever flavors it touches. So think of purple cabbage as the confident, structured one in the family, and green cabbage as the soft-spoken, comforting classic. Let's step into the world of nutrition, because this is where things really get interesting. Both cabbages are healthy, truly healthy, packed with fiber, vitamins, and beneficial plant compounds. But purple cabbage brings an extra layer of power to the table. Thanks to those anthocyanins, it delivers significantly higher antioxidant levels than green cabbage. Antioxidants help fight oxidative stress, support heart health, and lower inflammation throughout the body. Purple cabbage also tends to provide more vitamin C, more vitamin A, and a wider range of protective phytonutrients. Green cabbage, however, shines brightly in its own way. It's extremely rich in vitamin K, which supports bone health and proper blood clotting. It also contains folate, a key nutrient for cell production and overall energy. And don't count out green cabbage's sulfur compounds. These help detoxification and support liver function. So, while purple cabbage gets the edge in antioxidant power, green cabbage remains a nutritional heavyweight in everything else. Choosing which one is healthier isn't as simple as declaring a winner. Instead, think of them as two different toolboxes. Purple cabbage is your antioxidant and vitamin powerhouse, great for boosting immune function, reducing inflammation, and supporting long-term cellular health. Green cabbage is your fiber-rich vitamin K-packed staple that works well for digestive health, bone strength, and everyday nourishment. If you want a nutritional jolt, purple cabbage levels up your plate. If you want versatility and essential nutrients, green cabbage holds its ground effortlessly. Let's bring these two into the kitchen and put them to work. In raw recipes, purple cabbage almost always wins. It keeps its crunch even when dressed, holding up beautifully in coleslaw and fresh salads without collapsing into soggy shreds. Its color instantly transforms any dish into something that looks intentional, bright, and Instagram-ready. Green cabbage can still shine raw, but once you add dressing, it tends to soften quicker, making it more suitable for dishes where you want that gentle wilt rather than a crisp snap. But if we're talking about cooking, green cabbage reigns supreme. It softens easily, absorbs flavors, and gives that warm, comforting energy to dishes like sautéed cabbage with garlic, soups, stews, stir-fry, and especially dumplings. Purple cabbage can be cooked too, but expect color changes, sometimes dramatic ones, as those anthocyanins react to heat and ingredients. It also maintains its firmness more than green cabbage, which can be helpful in some dishes and distracting in others. So for soft, buttery, melt-in-your-mouth recipes, green cabbage will always make your life easier. Now what about cost and availability? In most grocery stores, green cabbage is the easiest to find and usually the cheapest. It often comes in larger heads and stores well, making it a staple for households all over the world. Purple cabbage is also fairly common, but you might find it in smaller heads and occasionally priced slightly higher. The difference is usually small, but depending on where you live, it can add up if you're buying frequently or feeding a lot of people. For many families, green cabbage becomes the practical choice simply because it stretches further for less money. Here's a surprising storage fact. Both cabbages are champions when it comes to shelf life. They last longer than most vegetables, which is why they have been relied on for centuries as a stable food source through winters, travel, and long journeys. But purple cabbage takes the crown here. Those anthocyanins again help protect it from oxidation, meaning it stays crisp longer in the refrigerator. As long as you don't wash the leaves before storing, and as long as you keep it tightly wrapped or in a produce drawer, purple cabbage holds up shockingly well. Green cabbage still stores beautifully, but purple has just a bit more endurance. So here's the big question. Which cabbage should you be eating? And the answer depends entirely on what you're looking for. If you want bigger health benefits and a nutrient-dense boost, purple cabbage is the way to go. If you want a mild, versatile ingredient that slides effortlessly into almost any cooked dish, green cabbage will never fail you. If you're making raw salads and want bold color and crunch, grab the purple. If you're making soup, stir-fry, dumplings, or any dish that needs tenderness, green is your friend. And honestly, the best choice might simply be to eat both. They complement each other beautifully, offering different nutrients, different textures, and different culinary strengths. It's like choosing between two great actors. Sometimes the story works best when they share the stage. So the next time you're standing in the grocery store staring at those two cabbages, you won't be guessing anymore. You'll understand exactly what sets them apart, from their pigments, to their flavors, to their nutritional power, to the way they transform in the kitchen. You'll know which one fits your recipe, your health goals, and your budget. And who knew something as simple as cabbage could be this interesting? Thank you for watching. If you have ideas for future videos, drop them in the comments below. We'd love to feature your suggestion in our next episode. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the everyday wonders of the world, check out our other binge-worthy channels.